Hey everyone, it's Claudio with The Beacon. I'm here at the Culture Room with Telle of the Word Alive. Telle, do you have any introduction things you want to say to the people watching at home?
Yo.
Well, yeah, we're here. This is your headlining tour, the real tour. How's it been? How's it going?
It's been pretty awesome so far. Today, while it's cold for you guys in Florida, it's actually one of the warmest days of the tour so far, and it's probably going to be the last decent day until the very last day. So we'll take it.
Yeah, it's warm for you, but here we have people already in 3 layered coats.
Yeah.
We don't know how to handle it here. Anyway, we're gonna do a sandwich. I call it some fun questions in the beginning, some obligatory, boring ones in the middle, and we'll finish off strong.
Okay.
So, have you ever seen the show How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah.
Do you know of the playbook?
Yes, but all right, you would have to refresh my memory.
It's the book Barney uses to pick up women in
Yeah.
just various ridiculous ways.
Yeah.
So, first question: if you were hired to write a page in the playbook, it can be as ridiculous as you want. It's guaranteed to work. What would you write?
Man, that's a tough one. Anything,
Any
and
random
it'll
thing. It's
work.
guaranteed to work. I mean, it works in the show, so whatever it is you're gonna put, it's gonna work.
Just walk up to someone and say, "I hate you."
What would you call it?
Love to hate.
Okay. You can just call it the telly.
That too.
Okay. I don't know if you ever heard the whole theory of multiple universes, alternate. If you
Alternate
can,
universes,
you can
yeah.
meet any alternate version of yourself. Which one would you want it to be? Like for me, example, if there's an alternate version of me that's Batman, I would probably want to meet that one.
I don't know if there's an alternate version of me. That would be a superhero. I like what I do a lot. I think my version is pretty cool. So hopefully my alternate version wants to meet me.
Okay, I like that answer. If you could plug yourself into any movie ever, which one would it be? You can be as supporting or lead. Like what you can plug yourself in. Which one would it be?
Oh man. It's hard because you could either choose to be like an action hero or someone who just makes a shit ton of money or someone like Batman. I guess Superman, because he has a hard time of being hurt, and because he is just so smart, he could do anything. He could make as much money as he wanted.
True.
I would just go and do like an arm wrestling tournament all around the world and
just beat everyone. Nice. We can do the Spider-Man thing and just inter wrestling matches and just beat everyone.
Spider-Man's pretty tight. The new Spider-Mans are cool. I like them.
All right, so middle sandwich. Well, this is a question I had. Blonde hair, something new. How'd that come about?
I used to dye my hair all the time. I've had pretty much every color, and I've had tons of different hairstyles. Just over the years, just every once in a while, I just do something completely different. So, it was me just doing something completely different.
I remember, I think you posted it a couple weeks ago on your Facebook. It's a picture of you when you were in a Greeley, with your hair all...
Yeah.
Yeah. What was I thinking?
Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember if I was in Greeley during that or if that was in Fear and Faith or in between. I want to say it might have even been in between, but yeah. Everyone has phases and, periods of your life, and, it's funny because there's part of me that I like to think that I try to not really think trendy wise. But then there's certain things that you just see and you like, and maybe you like it for a day, maybe you like it for a few years, maybe you always will like it. But if I like something, I'm not gonna not do it also just because it might be considered cool. If I like it, I like it. So.
I agree. We all do like those phases. You wouldn't believe, but I used to have hair up to here too. It's I couldn't imagine.
Mine was down here when I cut it, and
I remember that.
And I will never do that.
Not going back.
I know I won't do that.
Well, yesterday also thanks for reminding me too. Yesterday it was 6 years that you're in the Word Alive.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude. Like I used to follow the Word Alive like right when they started, and when you came in, I was like, oh, that's really nice. What would you tell yourself from 6 years ago? Like any advice that you'd give him from like now, to 6 years ago, like when you first started.
I mean, I would have given myself, all the advice as far as like how to take care of my body better, the important things in life, just in general. And, a lot of people don't realize that, a lot of things that you do off stage and off tour, the relationships you have, the kind of person you try to be, all those things affect the person who's on stage. So, I would just, I would have a lot to say to myself 6 years ago, but, at the same time, because of going through everything that I have over the last 6 years, it's enabled me to continue to write songs that are relevant to my life and have in some ways helped people, or so people tell me. And so to me, it's like if I went through some of that bullshit stuff and it helped me write a song that has helped, whoever and however many people, then, that's kind of my purpose, is to be doing this. So I'm still thankful for all the things that I didn't know that I had to find out the hard way.
To 14 more years, right?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
All right, so you've obviously been in every single recording album from from Empire to Real. What have been like the recurring themes of each one leading up to Real?
I think there's been a couple themes that carried over, but I think Real is the first album where I tried to end that and kind of start fresh. Empire has like how to build an empire, and it goes into Deceiver, which has the Hounds of Anubis, and then that went into Life Cycles, which had Dragon Spell, and each of those songs are connected. And then same thing for Deceiver, there was 2012, and then basically 2012's this part 2 of it is Evolution on Life Cycles. So I carried over lyrical themes from album to album until Real. I wanted to just kind of start from scratch and just write a completely different record and try to express myself in a different way and get a little bit more creative with getting my thoughts and ideas and actually putting them into a song.
Nice. Because what I've noticed from each album is that your vocal range is actually getting really way better each time, especially in Real. So how do you continue to challenge yourself each time that you go into writing a new song?
Well, two ways. One, when I go in to record an album, I record it, and not all the songs, but I put in parts that I can do in the studio, and I can do them fine, but it's very, very challenging to do in a live setting. And changing that, making it so... Oh, let me let Tony in. And because of doing it that way, then when I'm playing and I'm pushing myself live, then I'm growing. And then I do the same thing for the next album. I take what I've learned through that whole album cycle and from pushing myself and then I apply that to that album, and then I push myself and I get better. I want to get better. That's a huge part. I practice. I listen to lots and lots of different kinds of music, and I pick up on little things from singers that I like, and I'm like, oh man, that's how you do that. And just from singing along to things, I've discovered so much about my voice. So I just always want to improve, just like the guys want to improve musically. And I would like to say that I'm still, learning, still growing.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's been a tremendous journey, like watching your vocals like get progressively better. I remember, I think it was a studio update from like way back in the day where you guys were recording vocals, and you guys made a joke about you pooping blood from screaming so much.
Yeah, I did like 10 hours straight of screaming to end. I think it was Empire, maybe it was Deceiver, one of those two. Yeah, and I ended with 10 hours straight of recording because that's all the time we had left, and that's how many songs and parts we had left. And I completely lost my voice, and I had blood coming out of my ass and throwing up. Zach coughed up blood or blood once too, I'm not saying that anyone should do that because that's a horrible thing. It was bad. It took me like 2 weeks for my voice to fully come back, but through that, makes for a good story, and we got the album done, and I learned a lot about my voice, my capabilities, and it's funny because years later, I can do like 8 to 12 hours of recording, and my voice is usually fine. So it's just like back then I didn't have that muscle. It would be like not really ever having worked out and then going and trying to like bench press 250 pounds
right.
over and over and over again. Like, I was trying to use a muscle that wasn't developed yet. So 6 years later, I've been doing it a lot for a long period of time, and
no more
so
blood.
my voice is stronger. Yeah, so no more blood. never have to go through that again.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure about the science between them. Like, how do you scream for 10 hours and poop blood? It was weird. But in case that wasn't your favorite memory from recording, what would be your favorite memory from recording? Empire, Deceiver, or Real, or Life Cycles.
My favorite. I could probably tell you a favorite memory of each. My favorite memory from Empire was just getting done, and we were all so excited that we had finished our first CD, and we all kind of couldn't believe it. And then Deceiver. That experience was really awesome. We rented a house, and all of us just lived in that house in Florida, actually, and we had a great time. Just whether we were recording or if we were hanging out at the house, it was awesome. Life Cycles is probably my least favorite album to record, only because we were all separated for the most part, and there was a lot of tension in the band at that time. We had just lost 2 members. It was a stressful time for the band, and we didn't really know what direction we were headed. We wrote way too many songs, and instead of making each of those songs the best song it could be, we just kind of put out a ton of songs. Luckily, we have some gems on that album that did really well, and our fans really enjoyed. But my favorite memory from the Life Cycles process was when I flew back to Indiana to meet up with the guys, and I was hearing the songs starting to come together, and I think Life Cycles, going from Empire Deceiver, Life Cycles was the first album where I was listening to the quality of the recordings, because quality of recordings were just getting better and better, and I was just like, man, albums sound so much better now, clearer. That was my favorite from that. And then with Real, the whole thing. I loved every second of recording that album. Recording the vocals each day was my favorite because it's my favorite album we've ever done. They're all my like favorite songs that we've recorded for the most part. So putting all that together, I loved it. I just loved doing a part and then being like, I love this. I love how it's turning out. So I was really proud, like, as we were making it.
Oh, well, there goes like my next two questions. Would you say that was this album is like the proudest moment for you in the band?
Easily, yeah.
And your favorite songs, all of them.
My favorite songs vary. Off of Empire, it's "Quit While You're Ahead." Off of Deceiver, it's "Dreamcatcher," and then "We Know Who You Are." Off of Life Cycles, it's "Astral Plane," and then off of Real, it's hard because it is close to being just like all of them. But because I feel like there's a lot of diversity. There's more diversity on Real than any of the other albums, easily. So I love Collapsing. I love playing live. I love Never Forget. It's my favorite to play live. I just there's so much to Struggle and Claw My Way, like, which started out before we recorded. Like in the demos, it was one of my least favorite songs, and it became one of my most favorites. So it's just that album to me shows, in my opinion, in my mind, a lot of aspects of the word alive, and I think that's cool that we wrote a record that we kind of got to express a lot of different sides of us. I'm sure our next album will be a little bit more honed in, and I'm really looking forward to writing again and just trying to perfect what we do.
Right. I mean, that's good that you're still excited for more. I think that's,
definitely.
It's a great sign. My favorite actually from Real is The Runaway.
Yeah.
So I guess it's a personal question for me. What was like your motivation, or like the process for writing that particular song?
The Runaway, we actually wrote that with John Feldman, legendary producer. I've done so many of my favorite albums.
Suddenly that makes sense.
Yeah, and there was just a side of our band that we wanted to showcase, and we were like, well, let's try something different, pretty much, because I think that song, even though we've had all singing songs before, like You're All I See, Dreamcatcher almost is all singing, we never have done really songs like Lighthouse and The Runaway. So those two we went to John Feldman to record, and I love those songs personally. I wish we wrote a couple more songs that were a little bit more like that. As much as I love singing and screaming, I consider myself a singer first. So that's why I love those songs so much, is I got to actually show, that I can sing more than just a chorus. And that was really awesome for us. We only had 2 days, and we wrote and recorded both songs in 2 days.
That's great.
Which is the fastest we've ever written and recorded anything, let alone 2 songs. So,
I mean, the thing I also talked with Memphis Mayfire, how like they did the same thing with Maddie, where it's like, hey, how about you sing this portion? But I thought it shows more when you can sing more. You sing more than you scream. It just shows more talent.
it's harder. It is harder to come up. It's more melodies. It's more. Expression in a different way. It's easy to scream just because something's heavy. It's hard to sing over something that's heavy, but it can sound really cool. Our song Terminal that we play live, it's actually another one of my favorites off the album. There's a part where it goes and it drops and kind of gets a little bit heavier, and the natural reaction I think would have been to scream, but I was like, I feel like this is meant to be a singing part, and in previous albums I think it would have been a screaming part, but I just decided on this album there is a lot more singing on certain parts that normally wouldn't be with Real, and that was a conscious effort that I made that I wanted to challenge myself to sing as much as I could, even though the record's mostly heavy. So.
Right. Well, we're zeroing in on the last portion. It's the little segment I'm going to call Real or Fake. Wordplay, real.
All right.
That was being funny. Anyways, all right, so I have a bunch of headlines that I've gotten from news sites. You're going to guess if they're real or fake. They're all ridiculous, so, good luck. Endangered frogs blended into juice for healing power.
Real.
Yeah, that's real. Peru, I don't know what they're
People
doing.
are crazy. Makes sense.
Florida bra-wearing man allegedly blocked Florida customers at ATM.
Real.
Yeah, we're crazy here.
I like it.
Paleontologists determined that dinosaurs were killed by someone they trusted.
Fake.
Yeah. It's a little like Law and Order there with that.
I don't
with
think
dinosaurs.
anyone truly knows how they died, or maybe even if they ever existed at all.
Conspiracy.
Who knows?
Charles Manson gets marriage license.
True. Real. I just read yesterday that he's getting married.
Yeah. I was reading that, and I told my buddy, I'm like, look at this. I'm just sitting here single, and this murderer is getting married.
Yeah.
It was a funny thing. Seals accused of sexually attacking penguins.
I also just saw that yesterday. Real.
Wow. Yeah, you're right. That's really real. Okay. Virginia congressman to live off military budget for a month.
I mean, it's fucked up. I guess it could be real.
No, it's fake.
Okay. I was gonna say. I mean, who knows? Everything's so
My
messed
buddy
up
thought it was
these
real
days.
too, but the military budget's like $640 billion. That'd
Well.
be like huge overkill right
Oh,
there.
I thought it was like a monthly budget of the military, or is that
No.
a monthly budget of the military? Is $600-something billion a month?
that's the entire budget.
Okay, I was gonna say. Well,
Even if-
still, even if you break that down from 12 months, that's still
That's
billions
a
of dollars.
lot,
so.
yeah. You might enjoy this one. NFL sets up counseling sessions for Bears fans after blowouts.
I wish that were true. I'll say fake.
Yeah, that's right. I thought that was really funny.
That loss was really embarrassing, though.
Oh yeah, no, that should be true. They didn't counseling. All right, well, yeah, we're at the end. That was it. You got most of them right.
Yeah.
That's good. Everyone wants to know, what's up next for the Word Alive. What's coming up in end of 2014, 2015.
Well, this tour will end our year. We have confirmed 2 tours, and I think we're about to confirm a third today, actually. But we won't be coming back until springtime. I think we're gonna take a break, and I don't know. We probably will hit some international stuff early in the year, and then just keep doing our thing, keep playing shows, writing music, and hopefully touring more of the world.
That's great. Well, any last messages for the people watching at home?
Thank you guys if you watch this whole thing, and pick up our new album Real at Best Buy or on iTunes.
Pick it up everywhere. It's everywhere.
It
Bye.
is everywhere.
We stand up tall.